Welcome to round 4. We're against Shimunka. Yeah, I'm definitely going to keep this. It's not perfect, but we have some interaction and some cantrips and a threat already ready to go for on turn 3 or something. Opponent mulligan to 6. Love to see that. Is that mean to say? No, it's not mean to say. I just like being up cards. Let's see what we're up against. Hopefully we don't need early removal, but a Vista. So probably a 2-color deck then. Snow-covered swamp. And a crusher. I'm definitely just gonna preordain here. Should try and smooth out my draw despite not really knowing what I'm up against. So the question here is if I want to spend more mana on cantrips. If I have to force a will something with the cantrip, I think it's good to have another one. I don't think I necessarily need a third land then. So I'm going to keep the cantrip and get rid of the land. If I had to guess, I'd put them on something like blue-green depths, just from the Vista Swamp, but that's just pure speculation. Alright, so maybe this is the deck that Phil Gallagher was playing. Just black-white. Hate bad, basically. Yeah, I don't think there's a reason not to just stomp here. Just get rid of that. So we can still play a spell in their turn if needed. Bit rough that it ties up our mana here, of course, since we kept the counter. Or the cantrip, which means that we're already looking up some more mana, so it's Esper Vial then? No. I'm starting to get confused. It's clearly some artifact build, but so the question is do I want to fight over there ornithopters and stuff like that? I don't really. And they only have 2 cards left in their hand. I'm going to counter this with a Flusterstorm. Just did a Baleful Strix, I hope. Oh, he did. I think that card can just be too annoying. So I'm going to counter it. Keep him off of artifacts and fill my graveyard. Sadly, yeah, I was like, unless I find a fetch land, I can't play my angler, but this means that I can play my angler and can cast Ponder here. Wasteland, Fatal Push. Push might be good. They're clearly on some creature strategy, but I won't be able to trigger it. And I don't need lands really, so I could just take the push. And then shuffle. Yeah, probably better than a blank or a random card. New round C and most likely get this Sword Explosion then, if they're on a white version of whatever deck they're playing. But if not, it's at least a big beefy boy. Tundra, alright. Cranial Plating. They're going deep. Sedgemoor Witch. I think it's worth it just to get the Witch into play here. Can start generating tokens next turn. Or just grab the Bone Crusher next turn, but yeah, that's a good card advantage for them. Probably gonna push it, but though it's nice that it doesn't stop the Witch at all. Yep. second mox for the equip? No. Oh, wait, it's just one to equip, of course. Alright. So that now trades for... oh my god. What I might just do is just attack with the Sage More Witches, since that has menace. And just play another threat in the cantrip. Like, if I push the bird, this still trades for the angler. And then I can't use my mana on anything else. I do want to trigger the witch a couple of times. Probably I have a bunch of bolts left in my deck. Yeah, I'll do it with the black. Wasteland and the Brainstorm. I definitely don't want the Wasteland. The question is, do I want the Brainstorm? So I attack them for 3 this turn. Let's say I cast a Brainstorm, or the Magus. I attack them for 6 next turn, so it doesn't really help with the clock. Yeah, I think I'd rather just try to find something else. Just run out the Delver then. I must say the Witch having menace has been nice. Ooh, Emery. That's a good way for them to get back into it. Side, Doctor Foundry. Right. Lightning Bolt. Another Delver. That's not ideal. So if I don't trade for the Baleful Strix this turn, they're going to be able to sack to the Foundry. But if I do trade with it, they get to replay the Baleful Strix and get a lot more value off their Emery. So what I'm going to do is just attack with the Witch, I guess. I don't like it, but I don't think I have much better options. And now I can either play these two or just Bone Crusher. I do like having more bodies, but keeping these in hands gives me Forces and Brainstorms as a lot better cards. Let's see, let's say they make a Doctor Foundry Sector Creature. Yeah, I'm not going to kill them through that anyway. I'll just run out of Bone Crusher. A bit rough, drawing a couple of very mediocre creatures now off the top of my library. I really needed some action. And they're actually getting back into it with Emery. I like having my Plague Engineers post board, Pyroblasts and stuff like that. That'll really help. Yeah. That'll generate a nice blocker. A couple of blockers probably. Yeah. Another Opal. I really need to start getting rid of the Emery, or is this going to be rough? If they don't have that around, then they can do too much. Except of course make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 doctor. It's also pretty annoying. Let's see. A lightning bolt. That's pretty good. Yeah, targeting the Baleful Strix doesn't really help here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna jam in with everything. Think. So basically all these 1/1 trades for stuff now that the Emery is tapped. Don't mind trading this for this or 2 tokens. I'm fine with trading with the Baleful Strix now, and that means I also attack with the Giant. The question is if it's worth trading my Sedgemoor Witch off against like the Topter and the Opal. Since then they block here, those 2 block there, and then they sack the plating for a block here. Yeah, seems good. If they let too much to work, and just lightning bolt their face. So they have to play around the lightning bolt even though they know I have it. And I can also check how many creatures they make before they go to blocks. I think this is very good for me. Since now, if I target this, they only have 2 blockers. So they block the biggest 2 and they take 8. Yeah, I think that puts them dead. I think that means they're also dead when nothing happens. But oh wait, they gain 1 life of this, so they're not dead. So they'll trade this, take this, and then I'll just bolt their face. Yeah, that works as well. So now they made their 3rd blocker. So they block here, 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 and they take 5. So the bolt is the same as killing something now, except that I get to keep an additional creature. So let's say I bolt the Strix, they block there and there, they take 8. Or I just let it happen, they trade there and there, this blocks there, they take 5, I kill the Emery. Yeah, can't go for lethal, I think, unless I'm missing something, but... Oh, of course, and I was mistaken, they couldn't sacrifice the first Topter to the Topter Foundry since it says non-token. So yeah, this works, and by playing it like this, it's just gives them the least outs. I don't expect them to have sweepers that kill all of this, but I think I'm still gonna keep the 1 Nif Magus in my hand just in case, since I don't think they get out of here without a sweeper. Even if they top deck the other piece of the sword now, they're just gonna have too much mana tied up. So maybe if the Delver doesn't flip, they gain 2 to 6. They have 2 blockers. A Foundry. Don't think that's gonna do it. Alright, we got there. Somewhere at the start of the game I thought we were a lot further ahead than we ended up being, just because they were threatening quite some value with Emery and everything. So I for sure want to upgrade the Pyroblast and the Plague Engineers. I could consider something like a Thoughtseize or Dismember, since they're pretty synergistic. Niall Spellbomb is a consideration because they have both the sword combo, but it only means they only have to keep one additional mana up. But they also have Emery, which this stops, and it's very low cost. What don't I want? I think the Flusterstorms are very awful against them, so I'm going to put those over there. Carcass is good against Emery, and we saw Psy being milled, so I think I want that for sure as well. So these are like the A cards. These are also quite close. Don't know how much spot removal I want in addition to the Pyroglass and Upgrades. Especially since the Fatal Push needs to be on to hit the important cards. I don't actually think Angler is good against them since they have so many just small bodies that can get in the way. Without the Flusterstorms, and just because they're bad in general, I don't like the Nifmagus. I'll put in Nile Spellbomb. With putting in the Carcass and taking out a couple of mana intensive stuff, I could just take out one Wasteland, but I did bring in 2 Plague Engineers. They're quite interactive. Yeah, I think I like what Thoughtseize and Nile Spellbomb do for me more than Daze here. Since they have quite a lot of ways to just generate a bunch of mana. Does that mean I want Surgical or Force Negation as well? No, I don't think so. I'm not sure about cutting Daze, but they have just a bunch of ways to generate free mana and play around it. And their most important cards are cheap, like Emery for just casting it for 1 mana and a bunch of 2 mana spells. I'm definitely gonna mulligan this. I'm not gonna get cute with this one. Almost clicked keep. Yeah, it's not great, but I get to bottom one of the witches, and otherwise it's fine. Luckily they also mulliganed, so at least we're starting on even footing. Ooh, I can abrade that. Yeah, nothing I can do about that. And the turn one, Emery. I really need a bolt now. Since that card is scary as hell. I'll just ponder here then. So I think all of these cards are good, since I will have to stop the Emery anyway. And I do want the option to Lightning Bolt next turn, I think. So I'm gonna do it like this. Even though like the most optimal use of my mana next turn is just to Brainstorm and Bolt, but I might have to force something. Like if they play a Copter Foundry here, I probably have to try and force a will it despite having the Abrade, since I have to get rid of the Emery first. Lightning Greaves. So I could Abrade that. That's rough. So they have 1 mana left this turn, probably. Which means that they won't be able to use the Emery this turn. Alright. Now the question is it worth to use the Lightning Bolt or the Abrade? Currently their Mox Opal isn't on, and they did hit their land drop. If I kill the Seed of the Synod, they're on 1 mana basically. They can't play lands from the graveyard, but if on any land drop they get to replay the Lightning Reef, so I think that's bad. But because I might consider hitting the seed. I think I want to just lightning bolt here. Just because this is more versatile, despite this using my mana worse. And we'll see if I want Delver on top of my library. If they don't do anything useful, I do want it. If they force me to have more stuff to do or play something like that, I don't want it. Yeah, that's good for them. This is a foundry here. Alright, at least I get to kill that. And they don't get too much value off of it, but I'm just gonna get a C. Draw. Bolt could be nice, could be nice. I can't let them untap with Dr. Foundry, so I just have to do this now. Yeah. I have to try and grind through the Doctor and the 2-3 Doctor and the Baleful Strix, but it's gonna be rough. Master. Alright. Probably means I'm gonna bolt the Baleful Strix here. Need to spend my mana, and I can't bolt this one anyway. So I'm gonna I have to hope they brick a bunch, and I draw like a Pyroblast and a Brainstorm or something like that. Brainstorm into Pyroblast and something else. You might be able to get there. Really need them to break. Or need up there. That's not the best for them. So I'm taking 9 here. Yeah, really need something this turn. But we do get jump blockers for that if we find any spell. Plague Engineer on top there. Not really what I was looking for, but I guess it's an answer to the Master. I could stick with the Sedgemoor here. Yeah. If they have a removal for this, I'm not winning anyway, so I'm gonna get in for 2 if they attack with everything. And the other option for them is, of course, to just get in with the Doctor. Cantrip. Good. Yeah, let's start on that then. Ooh, that's not what we want to find. Can't really fetch anymore, so not really a reason to play out the Misty. The question is, do I want to run out the island? I think I do. But this ain't good. We need to top deck another card, and then we need to answer the top tier itself. if they have anything else here, we're just going to be in bad shape. Now we need to answer that and the top turn. Brainstorm into the nuts, please. Does Wasteland count? No, Wasteland does not count. Let's see. Do I want to change anything? I don't think so. Yeah, I think I want days on the play just to counter baleful restriction and stuff like that, and early emeries maybe. Is there something I don't want to keep more forces in? This member might be more interesting now that we've seen that they also have the Master of Ethereum. We do have Pyroblast and a Braids for it as well. I think I want to be a little bit less clunky. I think. On the other side, like I said, they are synergy driven. So I'm going to do this. I could do it like this. They have a lot of cards you need to counter if they get the synergies going. So I don't think I can force everything. This is not ideal, but I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to lead on the Endurance C just in case I draw a black spell and have the opportunity to wasteland them. What I did kind of miss when I almost insta-kept this hand was that I don't have red mana for bolt. Another turn 1 Emery would suck. That's basically the best play. Well, could be worse. Yeah, we can just get to wait on activating this. Since they can't cast artifacts at instant speed, we can just do it end of turn if they don't activate Emery, and if they activate Emery, you can always respond then. But this prevents them from playing a spell that I counter and then replaying it to an Emery. I do want to use my mana, so I'm just going to do this now. And I need to find a red source. And days, I will reveal that. Despite that being valuable information. I could just Delver here and hope that I can raise them with like with 2 flip Delvers. On the other hand, I only have Dace's interaction. I could ponder for a land, so then I get to get rid of bad cards and play a Delver, but it's probably worth spending this turn to get the Delver out there. Even though it's rough with Emery and everything. I get to dig with 2 spells next turn for my third land. So I'm going to put this back, and I don't want them to be able to do something to the Ponder, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure about that line, but I need to put on pressure, since they don't have mana sources, but they'll have a lot of resources. And my hand wasn't too great. So that turns on the Opal. Yeah, I'm gonna have to counter that, even though I'm not too happy with it. And do it with the C. You could get God if they have a mana here. They actually just get to replay it this turn, but I don't think there's a reason for them to play it like that. Reveal the ponder, draw a card. Might as well attack first. Now the big question is, how do we do this? So I know I don't want the top card. But I also do know that I have 2 blue this turn. I'm gonna lead up on there anyway. The upside is just that much better. Days and 2 blanks basically. I'm not gonna shuffle it, despite days being good here. And I'll preordain how to find a false or something. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom this one and top the false of will. I mean, false of will isn't ideal, of course. They have the emery, but I don't need that much time anymore. That does make us use the brainstorm, which sucks. Come on, red souls. The second Sedgemoor, which is back. Let's start jamming those then. At least this means that the retrofit foundry by itself isn't enough to keep them alive. New mana. So now they basically have 3 mana. 1 for this. So at least the 4/4 doesn't fly. Spend a mana to make a mana. They need double blue for something. Right? Oh, they didn't spend a mana. So it's just +1 mana. So they have 4 mana this turn in total now. That's kind of annoying. Foundry. Right. So anyway they do this, they only have 2 blockers, right? Yeah. They need 3 blockers to stay alive, I think. Oh no, they can block both of my insectoid aberrations, of course. 3 Mox Opals. Alright, now it gets interesting. Yeah. So now they have no more mana, so they still have 2 blockers. So they get to block these 2 and get that a Sedgemoor Witch through. Yeah, it's gonna be rough, but I definitely have to trade with their cards here. So they can turn this into a 4/4 after blocking. That trades for that, so it's gonna be tough. Play another witch. I'd love to find me some red mana. Yeah. They're probably gonna have enough blockers now. Since they get to replay the Ornithopter for free. Or the Baleful Strix if they... But it's probably better to have the Ornithopter since that lets them keep up 2 more mana for Thopter Foundry. And this construct can actually positively battle with the witch. So it can block Ornithopter construct on a witch, make this into another 4/4. Make 2 1/1s that go on this witch. put some up to 3, trade this for the aberration. What I need is a red source. I think bolt to face here is just good enough. So I only have 2 mana. That would also mean I get a lot of tokens. Another retrofitter foundry. Alright. Intriguing. And red souls? Cantrip. Cantrip might work. The third bolt and a pyroblast. Alright, this doesn't really matter. I put this back. Now, what does matter is what I do here. If I bounce the construct, they cannot sacrifice that to top their foundry, or sacrifice it to anything else. So that makes them able to make 1 top tier with the Mox open mana, sacrificing a foundry. Then they have 3 blockers and they're at 2 life. Right? Since they spend mana on this, they only have 1 additional. I think that should be good enough, but in any case, it's the best thing I can do. I'm pretty sure about that. Since that means that my stuff won't die to getting blocked with the 4/4. Could be missing something here, but it's definitely my best option. Menace is doing work again. Triple bolt pyroblast. At least I have something to play next turn in the Brazen Borer, but alright, we got there. That looked quite hairy for a while there, and I thought I was gonna get grinded out here. But then being stuck on mana gave me enough time to put pressure on despite missing on all my red cards. So, get your vote for the last round.